Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome to today's Lunchtime Nuggets. I'm Robin Weisner, and I'm a life coach and the creator of the Lighter Way Wellness Program, which is a whole life wellness coaching for women in midlife. And I'm so excited to be here. Fresh week. Look, my voice is back. I'm feeling better. I still have like that medicine head because I've taken some sinus pressure medicine. So if I'm a little spacey, I hope you'll give me some grace here. But I'm ready to conquer this week. And this week, the topic that I want to cover over each of these 5 days is about nourishing well. And this is something it's a little bit deeper subject than we talked about with the self-care last week. Nourishing well is so important. And I'm really passionate about it because a lot of the women I work with, most of the women I know, we have sort of lost trust in ourselves in knowing what to eat and what's best for us. We've lost touch. I say intuition, and what I mean is we've lost touch with our own internal body cues for hunger and fullness and what foods we naturally crave because we need them, and then what foods are more like a chemical addiction, right? Like highly palatable foods and things that we crave because we are not getting enough rest or we have too much sugar in our system and so our body's craving more sugar. So one of the big myths that's out there is that eating for weight loss is the same as eating for health. And it's just not the same. Now, that's not to say that if you are eating a healthy diet that you won't lose weight, right? And that losing weight can create better health. But a weight loss diet is intended for weight loss, period. It's intended for weight loss. And that is what the diet industry is all about, weight loss. It's not optimum health, program, right? So we have to understand the differences there. And I just jumped right in, didn't I? I get so excited about this. So let me just take a break and give people a moment to jump on and let me know where you're joining from. And if this, what I just said, is totally something new that you've never heard before. Because I tell you, most of us have grown up just inundated with diet culture. I can remember it from just as a young girl. I remember different diet foods that my mom would have, the commercials. I was taking diet pills as a middle schooler, starving myself, all these kind of things. The diet industry and really the way that culture shapes the standards of body image has just conditioned us to stop looking within to what our body needs and not accepting our own body set point and our own body size. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about today. Like I said, eating for weight loss is not the same as eating for health. You can eat 1,200 calories. Say somebody gives you a diet plan of 1,200 calories, which, by the way, is probably not enough for most women. I think most women are actually not eating enough. They think they are, but they're not. And so their body is holding on to that weight because they're in this starvation mode. But all calories are not created the same. When I used to do Weight Watchers, I would stay within my points and I would eat total crap. I would eat processed foods. I would eat ice cream, all this kind of stuff, but I stayed within my points. Or I've done other plans where I was good all week, and then on the weekend, when you say good all week, right, that means all week I was restricting my choices. I was denying myself eating more when I was still hungry. And then on the weekend, I just kind of went off on the deep end. Like, if you can relate to that, let me know down below, because I think a lot of us do that. And that's because we're not eating in balance with our body's intuitive balance. Okay, so when we are eating for health, we are eating for optimal energy, we're eating for optimal digestion, gut health, all of those kinds of things. We are not eliminating food groups just because, right? Now, when you work with me, I help you to discover food, I help you to find out on your own what foods work best for you, what foods don't, and then you can make a choice based on your own experience, your own investigation. But to eliminate food groups just because it's not part of a diet just doesn't make sense, because there is no one size fits all. So eating for health is much more about optimal health, regardless of what your weight is. Let's face it, there are plenty of thin people or smaller people who are very sick. And there are people who are in bigger bodies that are very fit. So we have to kind of bust out of that mindset that smaller automatically means healthier. It's just not true. We all have our own individual set point. Some of us can be very healthy at a higher weight than others. And so you just have to find out what that is for you. What is the size, the shape, the weight that you feel best? And that's what matters, not what's on some chart or what some diet says. Okay, and that takes a lot of experimenting and tracking and seeing what works best for you. That's one of the things, that's one of, not the main thing, but that's a major piece of what the Lighter Way program does. It's based on mindset, but we also work on discovering like what works best for you and what doesn't. So that is one big point. The other one is that dieting creates this illusion of control. We think we're in control of our body, but can we really, why do we want to actually be in control? Why are we denying our body? Why are we punishing our body? Why do we, on a day when we have overindulged, so to speak, we had birthday cake at a party, then the next day we're like, oh, I need to fast all day. Why are we punishing ourselves like that? Versus freedom of knowing that, I can trust myself with food. I know I can celebrate on this day and have what I want. And it's not something that I'm going to eat every day because I choose not to, because I don't feel good when I eat it. Versus I'm not going to eat it because it's not on the plan and that sort of thing, right? So really, we want to be in harmony with our body. We want to be in tune with it. We want to be listening to our hunger and fullness cues, which is something I'm going to go into detail tomorrow. But this is one big thing. I think so many American women have really lost touch with their hunger and fullness cues. We are taught when we are on any kind of, weight loss diet that, maybe you're supposed to eat only during these hours. So you're denying your hunger on the other hours of the day, or only to have so many portions, so you're denying your hunger, or maybe like you need to get all these portions in and you're eating beyond, like you're so full, you're uncomfortable. Like your body can tell you when it's full and when it's hungry. There's a whole scale to it, and there is so much freedom in that, and just being in tune with your body's hunger fullness cues. That's part of the principles of food freedom, which is part of the Lighter Way program. And I have some free resources on that I'll talk about at the end. So remember, the diet is just an illusion of control. Your body eventually is going to do what it wants to do. You're going to restrict it on this diet. How many of you have been on a diet, you lost weight, and then it boomeranged back at some other point? It's your body rebelling. It's rebelling. Other things too is that we, a lot of times, like I remember doing 3-day cleanse diets, right? And you're like, oh, I lost 5 pounds in 3 days. Well, you can't actually lose that much fat in just 3 days. It's water weight. So let's focus on dense nutrition, getting good hydration, and drinking plenty of fresh, clean water, and nourishing well, instead of doing these detox plans that are just absolutely ridiculous. And we can talk about more of that later. And then third is that diet mindset completely erodes your confidence. It's basically you're handing over your own body's intuition, what you know to be true about you, because, hey Anna, yes, I mean, absolutely. Your body is very smart. You were created by the perfect physician. Your body has the perfect pharmacy within it. And when you are trying to force something on it, it's just not going to work. And so you're eroding your own confidence and instead of building confidence. And so what happens is, I know this has happened to me in the past too, because I have been on one diet after the other, not recently, but most of my life, I was on one diet after another, or else just taking diet pills and starving myself, all these crazy kind of things, right? Just because you want to like get into that size pants or get the number down on the scale. That's not health. That's not health. And if you're honest with yourself, if you ever did that and you got into those pants or you got into that dress for the wedding, did you actually feel the way you thought you would feel on that day that you fit into those clothes? Or did you still feel uncomfortable in your skin? Did you actually feel like all that energy and all those things that you wanted? Or you know what I'm saying? There's that saying that about like, I wish I was the same size I was the last time I thought I was fat, or whatever it was, right? Like we look back like, oh, I remember when I was, this size, I felt so fat, and I look back, I wish I was that fat now, right? It's because it's not about size. It's about mindset. It's about being in tune with your body. And so when we are following diet rules, right, and we are so worried about getting them perfect and checking every box and not trusting ourselves to go off the plan, we are not building confidence in ourselves. Yes, we do eat more. You eat more when you're dieting, yes, because we rebel, right? But yeah, it's not building your confidence. And that is why intuitive eating, which is something, it's actually, I guess I've always believed in it, but I didn't know it was an actual study that I'm looking into more and learning more about. But that's why intuitive eating is so hard for women to get their heads wrapped around, because we have been conditioned to believe that we're either on a diet or we're not, right? You're either following a diet or you're just going hog wild on your own. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm eating whatever, and I'm eventually going to gain weight. Oh my gosh, we were not made that way. I just refuse to believe that, right? Can I get an amen? We can do better than that. We can do better than that. And it starts with food freedom. It starts with intuitive eating. And again, that's something that I do in the Lighter Way program. So, Anna, I'm sorry, it makes you feel so sad. I know, it's so true, but this is what happens. It's because diets are focused on external behaviors. And so we have this whole mindset, this whole thought process about food and our body and our relationship to it. And then we try to like put ourselves in this diet box. And then, it doesn't fit, and then we blame ourselves, and then we lose confidence, and then we just say, oh, forget it, and we just eat whatever. And it is, it damages our mindset, damages our mental health. Yes, we have to rewire our mindset. Absolutely. And that's not a diet. That's not a diet. And I hate to tell you, but Noom, they talk about its mindset. It is a diet. It's about weight loss. Therefore, it is a diet. Okay. What we need to do is align body, mind, and spirit so that we are in tune and we nourish our body well because we love our body. We want to keep it in alignment. We eat according to our needs, and we don't worry about what the scale says. That's not to say, we just go some people are afraid that they'll just go off the deep end and eat whatever. But you know what? That might happen at first because you've been depriving yourself for so long. But at some point, you're going to realize, wow, I really feel kind of yucky when I do that. I don't think I want to do that anymore. I've actually been experimenting. This is going longer than I expected, but Anna, we're having a good conversation here. I've been experimenting with this this year in the quarantine. My husband and I pretty much were eating the same all the time. And then one of our adult kids moved back home, started bringing new food into the house. We're in quarantine, and I'm like, oh, I think I like to have some more ice cream. I think I like to have, popcorn and M&Ms, and and I'm emotional, and I allowed myself, and I journaled how I felt before I ate it. And this, I don't want to give away tomorrow, but I kept track of what was going on in my head before and after. Was I eating, was I letting myself get to extreme hunger? Was I eating beyond fullness? You know, those kind of things. And yeah, I put on some weight. But then you know what? Then I came back to that set point. I was like, okay, so now I know, like, I know I can choose to eat these things. Nobody's going to take them away from me. And I know that I actually don't feel good when I eat those things. And I'm not that hungry. If I'm paying attention to how I feel, what I really want is some protein right now. Or what I really want is some tea or whatever it is, right? So that's not easy to do on your own, and it's definitely not easy to do when you're in a household of other people that are not on the same page as you. But that's why I love to help women do that as your coach and your mentor, work with you one-on-one, as well as in small groups to help you navigate through that. So I hope that was helpful, and I will put a link below to my free resources. I have an Eating for Health versus Weight Loss free resource I would love to share with you. And yeah, I know that we're all having issues. Well, maybe not everyone, but you know what? It's okay. Our human body changes. It changes. Okay, so what? So what? Does extra weight necessarily mean bad health? No, not always. It doesn't. Sometimes it can be a factor, maybe the nutrition that we have that is leading to the weight gain is also leading to health issues, but the weight necessarily does not equal bad health. So anyway, all right, I will let you guys go. It was so awesome. Anna, thanks for hanging out. And I'll put the link to that free resource below. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about more about intuitive eating and how to listen to your hunger and fullness cues. It was definitely a little scary and very mind-blowing for me. And like I said, I really want to help women break out of that diet mindset. Because I don't want you to be controlled by what anybody but God says. You know what's best for you. Okay. All right. Love you so much. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this, give me some love. Share it. Come back tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and I will see you later. Bye-bye. Mwah. Peace out.